live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
All right, so let's get to topics.
Yes.
Ooh, so just pre-warning y'all, be prepared today.
Yeah.
Because we got a juicy one coming up. But we're gonna start with my favorite, Steph Curry.
Yes.
Yet again, this week, breaking a record.
Mm-hmm.
His own, in fact.
Yeah.
Of 158 straight games with at least one three-pointer.
Mm-hmm.
His former record was obviously 157, and he set that back in 2016.
Yeah.
So that all in itself speaks volumes. Like, you 6 years out, and you still draining them like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's
knocking out at least one.
At least one, and we know it's never just one.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Steph Curry score just one three-pointer in a game. I have to go look at that. I don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't think so either.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what you think about this?
I think it just continues to speak to his level of greatness, and him being the greatest shooter of all time. Yeah. I know that it's hard for like the older folks to kind of pass those torches, because with something like this that is quantifiable and that we can see, like there is a debate, because people are debating it, but if you look at the numbers, Steph Curry is the best shooter of all time.
Yeah.
Like that can't be debated based off of the statistics.
Yeah.
But some people are going to say that they prefer someone like a Ray Allen or someone like a Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
And that Steph Curry's records are a product of just where the game has gone.
Yeah.
But even if that's the case, it's called natural evolution, and that's just what happens. And so at some point, no time that I can see in the near future, but at some point, someone's going to come along and they're going to possibly break Steph Curry's records.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I
look forward to hopefully still having my sight and being able to see that happen.
Right.
Lord, that'll be amazing. But
yeah.
I just told you before we started the show that Al Harrington was on this last episode of I Am Athlete. Mm-hmm. And they kind of touched on this. And of course, his view, you said it, you right on it with what you said, mm-hmm. Like in his mind, he was debating it from the standpoint that Reggie Miller didn't have as many opportunities because of the way the game was played, and Reggie not being somebody who could create his own shot. It was always the ball had to pass through several hands and then get to him in order for him to get a shot off. And so he talked about it from the standpoint of how many attempts and opportunities that Steph Curry has had to shoot the three versus what they did in the past. And so I respect that. I get it. But I feel like it was funny. Auntie said on there, they brought up the whole, if she brought up this is off subject, but I'll bring it back. She said, if LeBron played back in the day of MJ, would he have been better than an MJ playing in today?
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because if Steph Curry was Steph Curry
mm-hmm.
back in the day of Ray Allen or Reggie Miller,
mm-hmm.
I still feel like he would have been the best shooter because of what Al Harrington said. He could create his own shot.
Right. Well, I don't think those guys were allowed to exist back then.
Exactly.
I think that's a new thing where we were taking what I guess in the past they would have considered a two guard and allowing him to handle the ball consistently. Mm-hmm. That didn't happen. You're back in the day point guards.
Point guard, that was it.
Yeah. Who the offense ran through. Those guys handle the ball a lot, and they set up the offense. Yeah. Now you have players like Steph Curry who are the point guards, and they bring the ball up the court, and if they want to take a shot, they just throw up the shot. You know what I'm saying? And so,
and it's different because everybody's able to handle the ball now,
right? Because Draymond sets up the offense a lot.
Everybody's able to actually handle the ball, so it's a little different. But I mean, I just thought it was interesting that she put that out there, and I was like, yeah, because you know, debate was still who's the GOAT between MJ and LeBron.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and I love Auntie's take. She always says it, that LeBron is the what does she say? She has a great saying. Steph's the best shooter. MJ's the best all around, and LeBron is like the best. I cannot remember what she says, but she has a really good, the way because she's a former WNBA player, she has a better eye than like the rest of them might have about what she's talking. And so I respect what she's saying and how she sees them in the game. So I have to go back and find it, but she puts it perfectly. So it's no one's better than the other. It's just they're good at what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's Steph. You know how I feel about Steph. So.
Yeah, shout out to Steph.
Congratulations, sir.
Reach out to us, bro.
So, all right, let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
South Carolina women's basketball. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I don't think Alabama football gets this sauce. But
I was about to say that right there was the thing that we said when we first saw this. When I first saw it and I like hit you up about it.
Yeah.
You was like, yeah, this is some Alabama football type stuff.
Yeah, this is some Alabama football sauce right here. I don't understand this. Tell us about this.
And then my response to you was, oh yeah, this is very SEC like. No, but so last week, South Carolina women's basketball team was upset by 1 point against Missouri's women's basketball team. And something very peculiar happened when because each week the teams get ranked and they get re-ranked and repositioned based off of wins and losses and stuff like that. And so when it was time for the reshuffling to happen, South Carolina women's basketball remained at the top of the poll to everyone's depending on what side you want, either delight or dismay. And so when I saw this, I hit you up immediately as soon as I saw it, because we had talked about it last week.
Yep.
I just was floored at the fact that this could happen.
I don't understand it.
But what I would say is that they're probably the best team, the best team in women's basketball. But I think that they should have the opportunity to continue to prove it. Now, if they win next week and they blow someone out or something like that, then we stick them right back at number one.
Exactly.
But I just didn't understand why they remained at number one.
Yeah, because if they could do that, then Georgia should have stayed number one in football. I'm just saying. Anyway, yeah, this is weird to me. Because I remember times when they were on the decline, at least, because when they were at the top, nobody could beat them. But with UConn,
yes,
man, you lose a game, you go to like number 3 automatically. Not even number 2, like number 3. And I'm like, well, why? And to your point, they were always the best team. So what sauce are we cooking with this? I don't understand this one. I know it was a point, and maybe that's why it wasn't, because it wasn't a blowout or it wasn't a significant loss, but it was an L either way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, that was kind of weird. That one's weird to me. I think they played last night, didn't they?
Did they?
I thought they played last night. I thought I saw something about them last night, but yeah, just weird. Again, we had this conversation about how they determine these rankings anyway. It's kind of funky and all of that to me. It's just weird.
Yeah.
In every sport, I totally don't get how they come up with how they determine these rankings anyway. So, yeah.
I was going to check to see if UConn had ever lost the game and remained number one. And I don't see anything that's kind of prevalent based off
No, I know it didn't happen. Because every time they lost, they went to like number 3. Like that started, let's see, maybe about 4 years ago, where they started like really just falling off a little bit. And so, yeah, no, they have had a hard time getting even. It just, yeah, no. So this is weird. This is some weird sauce. Whatever y'all doing, how y'all coming up with this stuff? This is weird.
Yeah, I think it's some SEC stuff.
This is not SEC. This is not.
It's
that's the one thing
school.
You can't say about basketball. It ain't got nothing to do with the conference.
Well, no, so SEC. So the SEC, their teams, because if I'm not mistaken, Baylor's number 1 right now. Oh no, Baylor's not SEC though. That's the Big 12. Yeah. Okay. All right. So my whole argument is.
Yeah.
No, but
well, I was waiting. I'm like, what you saying?
Wait, Kentucky is up there now.
What is that? The Baylor's number 1. That doesn't. Anyway.
No. But I'm talking about the top 25 teams in college basketball. I was trying to go see South Carolina if they played last night, and if they
I feel like they did. Like they played last night.
Man, Maryland lost to Illinois. Okay, that's not what I'm supposed to be looking
That's not what you're supposed to be looking at.
I can't. Why women's basketball isn't like so? We're gonna have to do something about this.
Listen, don't start.
I can't just run to look to see
because it's not relevant.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's what they feel. It's not relevant.
Well, anyway, this is a bit curious. We'll see at the end of the season if this is one of those things where it's like, okay, we need to revisit this, because if South Carolina doesn't win the championship, then this would appear to be some sort of a bias. And while it already looks like that, like
like it sort of appears. Okay.
Yeah.
That's some PC. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just see. We'll keep an eye on this one for y'all and just see what happens. It's just weird. So anyway, Kyrie Irving's back. Came back Wednesday against the Pacers. 22 points, I believe.
22 points.
Good return, but what do you think?
I think that the NBA not the NBA, the Nets, because of their positioning, was forced to acquiesce to.
Yes, big word, Jared.
Huh?
Yes, big word, Jared.
Oh no. I feel like you can't say that if I used that one before.
Oh, yes, I can. No, that does not make it not a big word. Go ahead.
I feel like they were forced to acquiesce to Kyrie Irving's position.
Yeah.
And it's kind of going to be hard to do anything with him at that point. Yeah. Right?
Giving in.
And so while it did help them win a game, and I can't remember who made this point, if they end up a top 4 seed, if they end up a top 4 seed, if they end up like 1 or 2, they're not going to have them for their home games. So they're going to need to be a number 5 seed
to have to play on the
for
road.
them to give him a chance to actually play in at least 4 of the games.
Assuming you play a team where it's not a city where he can't play.
This is true. Well, all of the playoff games in the East, because it's the Western teams with the cities that, other than New York, that are allowed, you know.
Yeah. This is true. So it would be beyond that first round, basically.
Right.
Well, it would be, beyond it would have to be the championship.
Right.
They made it to the championship, then it'd be an issue.
Yeah. And so if they like played Golden State, then they just be short.
It's their fault. So it is what it is. I don't feel bad one way or the other. Like, this is your choice. And the thing that keeps coming to my mind about this is, why is this? I guess the NBA's take on it is different because they're inside. I guess it's because they're inside. Because in my head, I thought, how is this any different than Aaron Rodgers?
Well, so
it's because they're inside. It's in a different state, but still, he can go to New York and play, but it's outside.
Oh yeah,
that's why. That's the point I was trying to.
That's what makes it so idiotic that Aaron Rodgers would be intentionally deceptive the way that he was, because it's not even a rule that you have to have the vaccine in the NFL.
He just didn't want to get tested all the time. The testing was an inconvenience, I think, in his, you know, I love Aaron, but I'm mad at him about this. Yeah. I still love him, but my crush on him goes nowhere.
It don't go nowhere.
But yeah, I feel like it's no different, but that's what it is. It's because he can play outside. Because I was like, why is this such a big deal when Aaron Rodgers is the same? I mean, plenty of them, not just Aaron Rodgers. It's just that he happens to be a big name in the NFL who's clearly not vaccinated, right? So it's like, what is the big deal? But yeah, I feel like they get what they get. Whatever ends up happening, it is what it is. This is the decision y'all made. You've put yourself at his mercy at this point, and you just deal with whatever. Whatever it is. And you put yourself at the mercy of having him be a part. I mean, it's not fair to I can't think of his name right now. Steve. It's not fair to Steve to have to game plan for 2 different scenarios.
That's true.
That part I don't like, because but when you are playing out west or at home, you got to have a whole different game plan.
Right.
And then what about the people who feel, okay, that's a whole nother conversation. We're not going there. The same thing I feel about the whole Aaron Rodgers thing and whoever else, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Don't breathe on me. That's all I'm gonna say. That's just how I feel. But that's me, because I'm a germaphobe. So don't breathe on me. Yeah.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.